Dear friends, in today's informative video, we will tell you about the virtues of the Tahajjud prayer, the correct way to offer it, the time when this prayer begins and ends, the surahs to recite in it, and how to make the intention, niyyah, for Tahajjud. This is an extremely important and valuable video, so we request you to watch it until the end. Virtue of Tahajjud. First of all, know the virtue of this prayer. The Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said that there are three kinds of fortunate people whose deeds please Allah, the Most High, greatly. He said that the first among them is the person who gets up in the last part of the night and offers Tahajjud prayer while the entire creation is asleep. This person, by prostrating before Allah during such a time, brings immense pleasure to Allah. Secondly, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said that those who line up in rows for congregational prayers in the mosque are also among the fortunate ones. Thirdly, he mentioned that those who organize their ranks in the battlefield during jihad are also fortunate. These are the three types of people whose deeds make Allah extremely pleased. Subhanallah. In this hadith, the Prophet, peace be upon him, has told us the three most pleasing deeds in the sight of Allah. Dear friends, to understand the virtue of Tahajjud better, know that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, never missed Tahajjud in his entire life. Its status is so high that he said, after the obligatory prayers, Fajr, Dhuhr, Maghrib and Isha, the most superior prayer is Tahajjud. Why you should pray Tahajjud? Beloved viewers, one should make a firm habit of offering this prayer regularly. If you are facing any difficulty, whether financial problems, difficulty in finding a good life partner, unemployment, or suffering from an illness, then start praying Tahajjud consistently. Inshallah, within a few days, by Allah's grace and mercy, your problem will be solved. So no matter what issue you are facing in this world, make Tahajjud prayer your daily routine and witness how your matters begin to resolve. Timing of Tahajjud. Now, let's understand when the time for Tahajjud begins. Many people are under the wrong impression that Tahajjud can only be prayed in the last part of the night, just before the Fajr Adhan. While that time is indeed the most virtuous, it is incorrect to think that Tahajjud cannot be offered before that. In reality, the time for Tahajjud begins right after you finish praying Isha. So, once you've prayed Isha and then go to sleep, even if you sleep for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, or an hour, whenever you wake up during the night, that is the time for you to offer Tahajjud. As for the ending time of Tahajjud, it lasts until the time of Suhoor, pre-dawn meal. Once Suhoor ends and Fajr time begins, the time for Tahajjud also ends. So remember this well. The time for Tahajjud begins after Isha prayer and remains until the end of the night, right before Fajr time. However, the best and most rewarding time for Tahajjud is during the last part of the night, at the time of Suhoor. This is because that is when a person is usually in deep sleep, enjoying the comfort of their warm bed. Leaving that comfort to make wudu and stand before Allah in prayer is a great test of one's soul. And remember, the greater the struggle against your own desires, the greater the reward for the action. So when a person rises from their warm bed, resists their sleep, and humbles themselves in the court of Allah for Tahajjud, they are engaging in one of the most beloved acts in the eyes of Allah. How many rak'ahs to pray? Dear friends, now let's understand how many rak'ahs, units, should be prayed in Tahajjud. The minimum number is 2 rak'ahs, and it can go up to 12 rak'ahs, as proven by authentic hadith. If you're praying fewer rak'ahs, make sure to pray at least 4. However, if there's very little time left before Suhoor ends and you can only manage 2 rak'ahs, then be sure to at least pray those 2. Is there a specific surah required? Many people think that specific surahs or chapters of the Quran must be recited in Tahajjud. That is not true. Just like any other voluntary prayer, You may recite any surah you are comfortable with. It is not mandatory to recite any particular surahs. You may recite Surah Al-Ikhlas, Surah Al-Ala, or any other surah that you know well. Even 3 short verses or 1 long verse from the Quran are sufficient in place of a complete surah. How to perform the prayer, step by step. Here's a simple step-by-step guide for performing 2 rak'ahs of Tahajjud. Begin by saying, Allahu Akbar. Fold your hands and recite the opening supplication, Subhanaka. Then recite Surah Al-Fatiha. After that, recite any other surah or 3 short verses. Perform ruku, bowing, and sujud, prostration. This completes 1 rak'ah. Stand for the second rak'ah, begin with Bismillah, and repeat the same steps. After the second rak'ah, sit for tashahhud and recite the durud. Finally, turn your head to the right and then to the left, saying the salam to conclude the prayer. You can continue in this same way, offering 2 rak'ahs at a time. If you wish to complete 4, 6, 8, 10, or 12 rak'ahs. How to make the intention, niyyah. The niyyah, intention, is the firm resolve in the heart. Simply making the intention in your heart is sufficient. It is not necessary to verbalize it with your tongue, although doing so is recommended, mustahab. If you wish to say the niyyah out loud, you may say, I intend to pray 2 rak'ahs of nafil for the sake of Allah, facing the Qibla, Allahu Akbar. But again, even if you don't say it aloud, your sincere intention in the heart is enough, and surely Allah knows best what lies in our hearts. Spiritual benefits of Tahajjud. Dear viewers, Tahajjud is a prayer through which a servant earns the closeness and love of Allah. If you are praying for something special and your prayer hasn't been accepted yet, try asking for it during Tahajjud. Insha'Allah, your dua will be accepted because the time of Tahajjud is a time of divine acceptance, and any prayer made at that hour is most likely to be granted by Allah. A humble supplication. We ask Allah to grant us the ability to hear, understand, and act upon righteous guidance. May He accept this message and your listening. Ameen Ya Rabbal Alameen. Final request. Dear friends, please like and share this informative video, and don't forget to subscribe to my Islamic and spiritual channel. Jazakum Allahu Khairan. May Allah be our helper and protector, always.